And welcome to the latest vlog from bloodyflix.co.uk. I'm the editor Paul Downey, and today I'm going to be talking about two films that were released in 1980 as part of the slasher boom, basically post Halloween. So we have Prom Night and we have Terror Train. Interestingly, both starring Jamie Lee Curtis, who's obviously was kind of coming off the back of Halloween. She was doing The Fog, I think, that year for John Carpenter, and also signed on to do these, well, they're exploitation films really, but probably two of the most well remembered of the slasher boom. It was probably between 1980 and about 1983 or so. And obviously the emergence of the Friday the 13th franchise, and obviously the return of Halloween and everything else that comes with it. Yeah, but two very different films. Prom Night has Leslie Nielsen in one of his earlier roles as well. He plays a grieving father. And Jamie Lee Curtis gravitates towards the final girl role in a bit more of a kind of a gradual way than she does maybe in Terror Train, which I almost forgot the name of then. And yeah, basically the high school kids stalked by a killer after an opening scene where a young child is unfortunately killed. A young girl, and it's done in this kind of almost like dreamy sequence, and it's quite intense as well. As they basically a group of children force a young girl to fall out of a window of an abandoned building from quite a height, and she dies. And then we fast forward a few years, and then they start getting harassing phone calls, and you can kind of see where the kind of the slasher tropes come from that were used in things like Scream and going forward, and obviously Nightmare on Elm Street and things like that. Terror Train is very different in that sense, that basically what they do is they basically, albeit the kids in Prom Night are knocked off systematically during Prom Night, it's always in different locations, whereas here basically the director has basically trapped the would-be victims on the train. Basically, it's a New Year's Eve party for a bunch of high schoolers, I believe, or they're graduating. Or they're going to graduate, and then basically, they're basically on the train with this killer that basically, in quite a clever trope that wasn't really exploited that much in terms of, certainly from the slasher film point of view. It's a killer that wears multiple masks. Because it's a fancy dress party, there are people wearing all kinds of masks during the night. Fake faces, crocodiles, all sorts. And basically, what this killer is able to do is off the people that have supposedly wronged the person, and basically take their identity, so they're unsuspecting. It's actually got David Copperfield in it as well, which is a bit of a weird twist. He's actually playing himself in the film. He's the kind of the entertainment that's on the train. And basically, it all comes down to eventually Jamie Lee Curtis versus this masked killer, who reveals themselves, and obviously kind of it becomes quite an intense finale. Not quite on Halloween's levels, but in fairness, it's level pegging. It's level pegging. I think what maybe gives Prom Night the slight edge is it just feels a bit more intense, especially with the harassing phone calls. There's a fantastic sequence where basically the killer finds two of the people that he's hunting, basically, and they're making out in in a secluded area, and basically there's a bit of he kind of jumps on the back of the van, and the van tries to drive off, and it's a quite an intense action sequence. It's probably one of the highlights of the film, but before the finale. But yeah, it's a tough one, but I think I'd probably say that Prom Night's probably just that bit more sophisticated. They're both certainly head and shoulders above a lot of what came around that era. There is some right dirge out there that you can watch, which will give you your body count and then everything like that. But it won't. They did feel like these were fairly genuine, even though they were kind of jumping on the back of Halloween success. They were trying to do their own thing. And Prom Night went on 4 films, and a very loose remake at best. I think they only really have the name rather than actually going after the same sort of storyline. But all the sequels, they kind of go in different directions. Like there's that basically becomes the Urban Legend of Mary Lou, and that's the Prom Night 2, which is Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou. Then the third one, I forget. I forget, but they are quite forgettable. The second one actually isn't a bad film, but it's not a slasher film in the same way that the first one is. It's a very different film. It doesn't involve any characters from the original, and they kind of went to try and branch out on their own, a bit like what the Silent Night, Deadly Night series did after the atrocious second film. But yeah, let me know which one you prefer, or if there's any other 80s slashers that you want us to cover on the channel. Just let me know in the comments, and we'll get a video up soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.